We need to fight back. Just a few days ago, there was a Senate roundtable about health and diet. Now, this included Kaylee Means, Casey Means, RFK Jr., Michaela Peterson, Jordan Peterson, Chris Palmer, and a host of other people who are qualified to speak about nutrition and diet. And this is finally looking like we're having a discussion about this. Finally, we're starting to talk about the real problems with ultra-processed food and the diet that we're consuming. And this is, of course, focused on the US, but this is a worldwide issue, so everyone should be paying attention to this. I think for most of us in the carnivore community, we felt kind of positive about this. Finally, they're talking about something. Now, just to state up front, I am not going to bring politics into this because I think that diet and nutrition and health and all of those things should be above politics. Okay, if you want to bring it down to politics and say, well, this person shouldn't have been in there because they've ruined it all. No one ruined it because they're of a particular political persuasion. The people I'm going to talk about in this video that poo-pooed it have the problem. It's that they can't get over their politics to be able to look at health and diet and nutrition and the poisoning of the world with these ultra-processed foods. It's their problem that they can't get over that. Okay? It's not the individual players. So anyway, I was pretty positive about this. Finally, someone's talking about it. And then this article was the one that just ruined it for me, right? The article in The Atlantic by Elaine Godfrey. The woo-woo caucus meets. Nothing about, there was a health summit, nothing about health summit held or anything like that, just the woo-woo caucus meets. This is really taking a serious issue and turning it into clickbait, right? So Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s appearance at a health and nutrition event hosted by a Trump ally showed a congruence of crunchy and cranky. So nothing about the substance, right? So we can probably read some of this. I haven't got a subscription, so we're not going to see all of it. But anyway, Robert Kennedy Jr. if Robert Kennedy Jr. were president, this is the kind of cabinet he might appoint. Vani Hari, also known as the food babe influencer, The Biggest Loser is Jillian Michaels, a conservative psychologist. So again, it's just attack. It's nothing about the issue itself, nothing about the substance, right? So my question to Elaine Godfrey is, who are you trying to defend here? We'll come to that later because I know. So the former Democrat turned spoiler presidential candidate served a headliner for a 4-hour roundtable presentation yesterday on Capitol Hill, moderated by Senator Ron Johnson, a hard-right Republican from Wisconsin. Again, why are we bringing politics into this, right? This is not This is not political. This is about health. You've got a 16-year-old or a 17-year-old about to graduate high school. They've got fatty liver disease. They've got type 2 diabetes. They weigh 300 to 400 pounds. And their future is at stake because you can't rise above politics to discuss health and nutrition like a normal, sane person. And by the way, that 300 or 400 pound 16 or 17-year-old might have exactly the same political beliefs as you, but they're on their way to an early grave because you don't give a crap about what they're eating. Sorry, I'm getting a bit head up here. Anyway, so this really irritated me seeing this article, and it came out like almost instantly, like it had been pre-written. So to read this story, sign in or start a free trial. Yeah, you'll be lucky. Now, the other thing that made me kind of irritated about this is on all of the mainstream news channels, I can't find mention of this anywhere. Okay, I can't find anyone talking about this at all. MSNBC, no one's talking about it. CNN, there's no videos about it that I can find, right? Fox News, there's one video that I found about it. It's about 7 minutes long, and they actually interviewed one of the participants, Jillian Michaels. It's despicable to politicize this. So at least someone's reporting on it, right? Properly. But it's one channel. Where is the information on this, CNN? Where? Right? Where is the information on this, MSNBC? Nowhere. Because you don't care. It doesn't suit whatever the way you want to report things at the moment, or it's not clickbaity enough, or something, so you're not reporting on it. This is a crisis, and no one's reporting on it. So I mentioned before, who is this Elaine Godfrey trying to defend by putting out this crappy article, saying nothing, and just demeaning everyone that was involved in this? Well, I've got the answer, and I'm going to come to that in a second. I'd just like to say, one of the things that's really important about fighting back against this kind of thing is that we need to just keep talking. We need to keep communication open about nutrition, about health, about eating properly, eating a proper human diet to be able to get people healthy. And I would love to host you on the channel to share your story about your experience with carnivore. If you'd like to come on, please shoot me an email to realzerocarb@gmail.com, and I'll get back to you. We'll work out a time that suits you, and let's have a chat. So Casey Means had made reference to this article and said the mainstream media is so obviously and amusingly showing their cards with their predictable article viciously insulting the historic Senate roundtable on chronic disease and nutrition, calling it boring and woo-woo. I agree. She goes on to say, the Atlantic author of this article, cough, pre-planned, hit piece, cough. Yeah, again, it came out way too quickly. Is a 2015 journalism graduate, seems to believe she knows more about chronic disease epidemic than Harvard and Johns Hopkins senior physicians Chris Palmer and Marty Makary. So, very good point, right? Very, very good point. But let's just go back. So Gillian Michaels replied to this, or quoted this, and said, thanks to Ferris Bueller, I have the answer. David Bradley is one of the major partners in The Atlantic. He made billions of dollars consulting with Big Pharma. David Bradley sold that advisory firm via the public stock market to Optum. Optum is a pharmacy and benefit manager. They are profiteering off our chronic disease crisis. If you need a crash course, go to listen to Brigham Bueller's first podcast with Joe Rogan, where he breaks down step by step how the pharmacy benefit managers are receiving kickbacks from the big pharmaceutical companies. You see, it's not all innocent. Like, it's not even just about politics. It's not even like, oh, I don't like his politics or her politics, so I'm going to say bad things. It literally is conflict of interest. And, you know, whether this Senate roundtable will have any success in making any changes or not, at least they're doing something. At least they're trying. Anyway, I would love to know your thoughts below. And if you want to see someone who's been on a ketogenic diet for 50 years, check out this video next.